You think I'll keep pretending nothing's wrong? My name is Aiden, 32 years old. That night, I came home and saw her, my wife, Kyla, sitting on the couch with my brother, Lucas. They were laughing, too close, too comfortable. Under the warm light, their faces almost touched. The coat in my hand slipped to the floor with a dull sound. Kyla looked at me, her smile carrying a hint of provocation. Lucas raised an eyebrow, as if saying, "This is your world now. You finally see it." 7 years of marriage turned to ashes in an instant. Kyla and I lived in a suburban 2-story house. Ordinary, stable, peaceful. I worked as a software engineer, 9 to 5, sometimes overtime. Lucas was a freelance photographer, social and impulsive, never fitting into our quiet life. 8 months ago, he moved back to town because our parents were sick. Out of responsibility, I helped him find a job in my department, helping with design and file organization. At first, everything seemed normal. I didn't think twice. But gradually, I started noticing things. Kyla often stayed home late after I got back from work, saying she was helping Lucas with project materials. Whenever I tried to join, they laughed. "Just work, Aiden, relax." Even the bed felt strange. Every morning I made it perfectly, pillows straight, sheets smooth. Every evening I came home, the pillows were shifted, the blanket rumpled. When I asked, Kyla brushed it off, "You must have remembered wrong." I began to doubt myself. I checked phones, computers, messages, nothing. No photos, no texts, no clues. They worked together 8 hours a day and often went out at night. No trace of contact, too clean. Then one day, I came home early. The lights were on. Lucas sat on the couch, beer in hand, and smirked. "Aiden," he said, "you really think you can keep controlling everything forever?" Kyla stood beside him, smiling, confident, unapologetic. The documents in my hand fell to the floor. The room went still. My heartbeat pounded like thunder. The next day, I invited Kyla on a weekend trip. I needed answers. That night, in the hotel room, I asked quietly, "Kyla, are you and Lucas together?" She looked down, her voice trembling. Yes, it just happened." 7 years of love, trust, and laughter shattered in one breath that I didn't yell. I just drove home. For the next few days, I packed everything. Every photo, every memory, became a piece of evidence I wanted to erase. When my parents found out, they didn't console me, they defended them. "You're overreacting," my mother said softly. Lucas was only helping. My father nodded. "You should reflect on your marriage. Maybe there's been a misunderstanding." A misunderstanding. That word followed me my whole life. When I was 16, I asked for $50 to join a basketball camp. Mom said, "Earn it yourself." When Lucas wanted a second-hand motorcycle, they paid instantly. He got all the attention, dance lessons, photography workshops, admiration. I got curfews and punishment. If I came home 15 minutes late, they took my car for a month. If Lucas came home reeking of smoke, they just told him to be careful next time. Now, once again, I was the one being blamed for someone else's sins. I'd had enough. I moved to another state, started over. The first months were silent and lonely. The pain crept in at night. So I worked. Hard. Late hours, every day. Using my skills and discipline, I built a name for myself. Each success was a quiet act of revenge, a declaration that I was no longer the forgotten one. Eventually, I met Leah. She was 35, a restaurant owner, kind, composed, and fiercely independent. We met through friends. At first, just casual conversation. But over time, her calm strength became something I relied on. She made me laugh again. Made me trust again. And in that new life, I understood something about revenge. It wasn't about hurting them. It was about taking back control of my own story. Kyla and Lucas destroyed my marriage, but not my future. Years passed. Leah and I got engaged. Life was peaceful, full, and quiet. Then one day, an email arrived. Kyla and Lucas had divorced. Kyla wanted to talk. I ignored it, until she showed up in person. At the restaurant entrance, she stood hesitantly. "Aiden," she said, voice trembling, "can we talk?" I looked at her, calm and cold. "Talk? You cheated on me, with my brother. What could you possibly have to say?" She froze, searching for words. I continued, "You made your choices. Now you live with them. I don't forgive you." Then I turned and walked back inside. Leah stood there, watching quietly, a gentle smile on her face. Kyla had nowhere to go. The staff subtly stepped between us. That was the last time I ever saw her. Months later, Lucas moved away again. My parents tried to contact me, but I refused every call. Peace became my shield. Leah and I focused on expanding the restaurant. She taught me how to manage people, how to lead with confidence, how to build trust. I learned to replace anger with clarity, resentment with purpose. Every successful dish, every happy customer, every positive review was a quiet reminder: betrayal can't destroy you. Growth can. Sometimes, I'd hear that Kyla's life had fallen apart, alone, bitter, full of regret. Once, I saw her standing outside the restaurant. She tried to approach me. I smiled faintly. "You're too late." Her face fell. There was fear, regret, but no power left. I turned and went back inside. Leah took my hand. Our staff laughed, the sound of work and warmth filling the air. And I realized. The real revenge was not rage. It was peace. 7 years of betrayal, decades of neglect. They became fuel. Fuel for the life I built myself. True revenge isn't about making them suffer. It's about living so well they can never touch you again. Aiden rebuilt his life, his dignity, his peace, his home. And this time, nothing, and no one, could take it away.